On December 5th, 1973.
The Super Bowl was always a venue for a huge audience. But Master Lock was the only one that did something exclusively for the Super Bowl until we did 1984. What makes something memorable? I think the challenge has always been to break rules, find something new, find something unexpected as a way of engaging people and telling a story. I met Steve when he was 24 years old. Steve, from the day I met him, was passionate and believed totally that this technology wasn't just going to be a business for him and it wasn't just going to be a hobby for Wozniak. This was going to change the world.
Today, 1 year after Lisa, we are introducing the third industry milestone product, Macintosh.
So there was this challenge from Steve. I got to introduce Macintosh. It's got to be dramatic. It's got to be famous. It's got to be different. We had a meeting where we presented a whole bunch of thinking that went into launching Macintosh. He thought it was brave. He thought it was great. It was the board of directors thinking it was really stupid and irresponsible. And there was a moment in time when the board was trying to pull the plug on all the funds and have it not run. And he was there with Wozniak, and he said, well, I'll pay for half of it if you will. They didn't have to come to that, but they did make that overture at one point. So you open on this place that represents the future, with people marching to a central hall. Our idea was that Big Brother represented the control of technology by the few. Lots of people decided, partly by the bluish quality, partly by the competitive situation Apple found themselves in, that Big Brother represented IBM. And that really wasn't the intent, but it probably worked on that level as well. But running down one of the corridors was a girl who you saw glimpses of. She came bursting into the back of the room, and she stopped and swung once, twice, and then heaved the hammer. And a giant explosion.
And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.
1984 wasn't designed to only run on the Super Bowl. It was designed to have a media life beyond the Super Bowl, but the board of directors at Apple decided it was irresponsible, since it didn't show the product and the product wasn't even available yet, to continue running it. And that becomes almost part of the legend. Oh, and the genius of just running it once on the Super Bowl. Every news show the next morning was basically saying, the game was okay, but did you see the commercial? Our vision was more about the idea of how the world was going to change because of computers, not that we were changing the Super Bowl that day. But it did create a phenomenon where people started thinking, designing advertising specifically for the Super Bowl and keeping it secret and having it be a surprise. All those things were kind of born out of 1984 running once. Trying to live up to what Steve expected of what I did and what we were doing together became one of the, true kind of joys of my life. To be in the advertising business, you don't often get to be part of something that important, that world-changing. Lots of people kind of misjudged what the commercial was and what the commercial could do, and of course nobody believed that 30 years later people would still be talking about it.